Welcome to the Team Engagement Podcast, where leaders of teams share their insights. We discuss 6 questions in 9 minutes because leaders know how to be concise. We'll get started with today's guest. Our first question, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, hi, Sean. Thanks for having me. My name is David Epindola. I am an entrepreneur and an advisor, and I help companies stay ahead of the curve in the exponential era. So what does that mean? The exponential era is the times that we're living right now where things are changing extremely fast, a lot of it driven by technology. And what we do is we help companies put together strategies that allows them to monitor the changes that are happening. We help them see what may be coming around the corner or around the curve. And we help them put together strategies that will help them, stay ahead of that curve.
That's a great niche to be in. Great, thank you. Well, question number 2, what's the best thing about working with a team?
Well, there's a saying that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others, right? Mm-hmm. So if you want to do anything that's big, that's meaningful, that's impactful, you need to have a team. So I think that is, one of the key aspects of why, working with a team is important. But, there are other things as well. So I personally enjoy being surrounded by smart people, people that have great ideas, people that we can, discuss different ideas, get different inputs. I'm interested in innovation. And in the field of innovation, we talk a lot about lateral thinking, which is the ability to pull information from different domain and then put them together in unique ways. And so in order to do that, obviously, you need people from different backgrounds and different expertise that you can access and that you can dialogue with and collaborate with to be able to come up with new innovative ideas. So I think, having the team, whether it's an internal team or an external team, it is essential for anyone that's interested in being ahead of that curve and being innovative in their solutions.
I could not agree more. Great insight, great example of what teams can do. Question number 3, I hear from other leaders of teams that it can be a challenge to get team members engaged. Tell me your thoughts on that.
Okay. So I think, if you love what you do, and if you're given autonomy to make the right decisions by yourself without a lot of micromanagement, I think most people will engage. I think the problems that we experience when teams are not engaged, my biggest issue with the way some leaders behave is trying to micromanage people. I think that is the worst thing that a leader can do, right? So what you do is you hire smart people. Hopefully you hire people that are smarter than you are, right? Because you want to surround yourself with the best, the smartest people they can possibly find. And if you're going to tell them what to do every day, then what's the point of having, people that are smarter than you? So you really need to give them the autonomy, the freedom, and the ability to engage and to collaborate with you. So I think, if they have the autonomy and they're not engaging, maybe they're not in the right field. Maybe they don't really have the passion for the work that they're doing. So I think if they have those 2 components, I think they will engage.
Great insights and a good warning about micromanaging. So good information. Question number 4, what other piece of information or advice would you offer to leaders of teams?
So I would say, one of the essential components of a well-functioning, high-performing team is trust. I would put trust ahead of anything else within a team, because if you don't have trust within the team, everything else falls apart. So it's really important that, the team members and the leader of that team builds the mechanisms that allow trust to be developed within that team. So I would say trust is number one. The other recommendation I would have is, build a team that is complementary. People that have complementary skills, people that have diverse ideas, diverse backgrounds, different expertise. If you can get a diverse team with different backgrounds to come together and really trust each other, and when I say trust, I really mean trust. So if you're having a conversation, nobody should be afraid of asking questions. You should be totally free to be vulnerable in a team situation if there is true trust in that team. So there's no, you're not trying to be politically correct. You're not trying to, hide something, having a hidden agenda, or, trying to look smarter than the other guy. There's none of that. It's total vulnerability. We're in this together. We're trying to figure this out together. I'm going to ask questions if I don't know. There are no stupid questions, right? And the leader has to sort of set the example there, right? So the leader's got to be the first one who's going to say, there are no stupid questions. He's going to be the first one to ask the questions. He's going to be the first one to show vulnerability, right? So if you have all those components in a team, I've experienced that in my career. And once you've worked with a team that works effectively, that's high functioning, that's the best. You don't ever want to leave that team.
That is some great instruction on trust. I really like how you shared what it really means to trust, because that is so important and so valuable in a team. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Question number 5, what other successful leaders of teams, such as yourself, would you like to recognize that have had a positive influence in your life?
Sure. So I had a boss that I followed him to 3 different companies. His name is Don O'Shea. He was my boss at Oracle, and then he went to work for Brunswick Corporation, and I went with him, and then he went to Zebra, and I went with him. And it wasn't just me. There were several other people in the team that followed him. So to me, that's the true description, the true characteristic of a leader. A leader is somebody that other people will follow you, right? A leader is not somebody with a big title, is not somebody that can impose his position on other people. A leader is somebody that people will voluntarily follow that person. And I think, Don, there's just some things about him that, helped build that trust. So that trust, again, was the primary thing. But he really cared about you, right? And you felt cared for. So, if there was ever a situation where the team was in a tough spot and there was something that was perhaps, could impact the success of the team, he was always there for you. He always gave you that top coverage. So we all felt safe. We all felt trusted. We felt that he was looking after our best interest. And there was something that he used to say that I never forget. He used to say that, it's not what you tell people, it's how you make them feel. So I think, leaders really understand that. Leaders really know how to make people feel trusted, valuable, and safe.
Well, he sounds like a great individual, so I'm glad you had that opportunity to be with him and learn from him and share that with us. So thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Final question. Tell us a little bit about your first job.
Wow. So are we talking about first professional job?
You can pick either one. I like all the stories. So whichever one you want to share.
Okay. Well, so non-professional jobs. I worked at a trade show one time as a translator. It was a shoe manufacturing trade show, and they needed somebody that could do some translation. And I was sort of a customer service kind of guy. So that was my very first job where I actually got paid for doing something. So that was fun. I enjoyed doing that. But the first job that I would say was really a professional job was an internship that I had at People's Drug Stores out in Washington, D.C., or in Virginia, Alexandria, actually. And I worked in the internal audit department. And my job was to, help all of my colleagues be successful. And I did a number of different things. But the one thing that I did that I enjoyed doing and that is still with me today was I had to do a lot of programming to pull data from the general ledger. And so I had to go into the mainframe and learn how to pull the data from there. And then I had to put into a PC network and then use different reporting capabilities to put together the reports that would tell us how the stores were doing financially and also operationally, and would give us, the indicators that we needed to know which store should go audit. So that was a lot of good learning in there.
Wow, it sure sounds like it. Great. Well, David, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. How can people find you?
So the best way to find me is at interceptinghorizons.com. So Intercepting Horizons is the partnership that I founded. And my email address is david.espindola@interceptinghorizons.com.
Great. Thank you. This is Sean Richards with the Team Engagement Podcast, where leaders of teams share their insights. For more ideas, you can find us on LinkedIn by searching Blue Sky Business Consulting. Thanks for joining us today, and have a great day.